In this video, I'm going over tips and tricks and cool hidden features on the new Samsung Galaxy A53. Welcome back to another video. I'm your tech guide, Wayne. In the video today, I'm going to be going over some really cool tips and tricks and hidden features on the new Samsung Galaxy A53. So get ready to learn some cool stuff, and do me a couple of favors here. If you find a tip that you did not know about, please stop and hit that like button. And at the end of the video, if you can leave a comment and tell me what tips were new to you or which one was most exciting to you, I would love to hear that, just so I know what tips are not out there yet. All right. One more thing, I know this phone does not come with a wall charger. Some of you guys found that out the hard way when you got the phone home. So I just want to recommend this charger right here. It's an Anchor charger. It's a nano charger that does support the Type-C charging. I'll have a link right here where you can pick up one. Really inexpensive, and it's going to allow you to do the fast charging with the phone. So definitely check out that link if you haven't already got a good wall charger. Okay, the first tip I want to show you is how to run two apps at one time. And this is a really fun feature that allows you to just really maximize on using your phone and doing, again, I love to multitask. I love to do multiple things at once. So there's different ways to set this up. I'm going to show you how I like to set it up, which is simply decide what two apps you want to open. I want to have YouTube open. So I'm going to open up YouTube first, then hit the home button. And I'm going to open up Chrome as my second app. I'm going to go to the home button again. Now that I've opened both apps, I'm going to tap on recent apps right here. Swipe over. I want YouTube to be at the top, so I'm going to go to the YouTube app first. Tap on the YouTube icon and then tap open in split screen view. That will move YouTube to the top. And now I can tap on my Chrome app here and have that be at the bottom. So now I'm just going to come up here and start this video. Shameless plug, if you haven't already seen this video, I have a how to set up the A53. If you haven't already seen it, check out that link right there and you can watch that video and learn some cool things like transferring your contacts from an old device, or some really cool apps you can download for the phone as well. So anyway, check that out. So my video is playing right here, and now I can be on the internet. I can go to any site I want, and I can basically be browsing while I'm watching the video. And I love to do this, again, I just love to have a lot of things going at once. So I watch YouTube videos all day, but I might be doing research on a new video or looking up what's happening in the news or the stock market. So I love the fact that I can use these two apps simultaneously. And when you're finished, you can always put your finger on the three white dots in the center and just drag down, and that'll take you out of the split screen view. So that's a super easy way to run two apps at one time, and it will also support the landscape. So if you turn the phone sideways, the split screen will continue to work. And here's another cool thing, and this is going to be a segue into our second tip. So let me actually explain the second tip, and then I'll show you this. I'm jumping ahead, but I'm going to show you our second tip, and then I'll show you how this split screen is going to tie into it. So you might have noticed this little gray line on the right side of the phone. This is called your edge panel. And if you just swipe from the edge of the phone into the phone like this, it'll actually bring up a shortcut menu that will allow you to get to your favorite apps or your recent apps. So right now, the three apps at the top will be your recent apps, and these other apps here will just be favorites. Now it pre-selects these, but if you hit the menu button at the bottom here and tap on edit, I can go in and I can set specific apps to be on this shortcut list. So you might say, hey, I'd love to have my clock on here so I can set my alarms at night before I wake up. You can drag that right there. And you might say, I don't really want to have the YouTube app right here. We can get rid of that. So just go through your list here and decide what do you want to be in your app edge. I also want Instagram to be there, so we'll move that where you just tap on it and it moves automatically. Now, moving into the cool thing I wanted to show you. So you can also have app pairing. So if you have a split screen combination that you like, for example, I had YouTube, and then I also had, with YouTube, you need to pause the video first. Make sure it's paused. Menu. So I had YouTube and I had Chrome. So I'm going to tap on the three dots here, it's going to give me this little option right here, which is to add it to the edge panel. So tap there, and it's going to move that app pairing. So now when I swipe over from that little handle, guess what? This is my app pairing with YouTube and Chrome. So it's a really cool way. So again, if I close out all the apps on the phone and I swipe left and I tap on this pair, guess what? It'll take me right back to YouTube and Google Chrome, just like that. So that's a cool way to, one, multitask, and then now you have your new shortcut with all your favorite apps on the right, and this just makes it easier for you to get to the apps you use the most. Okay, let's move on to our third tip. Now this one, a lot of you may know, but I always find a few people that don't know this one, so I always like to include it. How do I keep my screen on longer? Do you ever find yourself, you're on the phone and you're not touching the screen and it goes dim so quick and it's frustrating? Well, all you have to do to adjust that is swipe down from the top of the screen, tap on the settings wheel in the upper right corner, and we're gonna swipe up to display, swipe up again, and go to screen timeout. Now out of the box, this is normally set to either 15 seconds or 30 seconds. I like to have it on either 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and that way your screen will stay on without you having to touch the screen, and you don't have to worry about constantly touching it every few seconds. It will stay on for at least 2 minutes or 5 minutes depending on what you set it on. So set it to your discretion, obviously. Okay, moving on to our next tip. This one's actually a hidden feature, which is, it's called the quick launch camera. And basically you'll be able to launch your camera anytime, no matter what you're doing. Let's say you are in Google Chrome and you're searching the web for something and something noteworthy or camera worthy comes up. You're gonna tap your power button 2 times and it's gonna automatically launch your camera, just like that. Now, what if the phone is off and you see something crazy happen? You can pull your phone out of your pocket with the screen off and you can double tap on that power button. It's gonna turn the phone on and take you right to the camera. So that's a really cool feature. It's called the quick launch camera. For those of you that just love to snap pictures of everything, this is a great feature to lean into. Now moving into our next tip, some of you might say, oh, that's cool, but I don't take a lot of pictures. I don't really care about that. Well, guess what? You can reprogram that double tap to open up any app, not just the camera. So let me show you how to do that. Swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, tap on the power button that's right next to the magnifying glass. It's gonna take you to this menu. You're gonna tap on side key settings. And here you can change your double press and program it to open app. So tap here, and then it will let you go through your app list and say, what app would you rather be able to launch at a moment's notice? And so in this case, some of you might say, oh, I'd rather have it launch Instagram, or I'd rather have it launch Maps. Maybe you drive for DoorDash and you want to have your maps come up faster. Whatever it is, some of you for work, you might say, I'd love for it to launch my email. Whatever it is, select it, go back, and now if I double tap on that power button, it's gonna launch Instagram. So that's a really cool way just to get the most out of that feature. And that's if you're not a camera person. I use the camera all the time and I use that quick launch, so I'd never change that to something different, but I always like to include the option because some of you, guess what, you're not always that into pictures. Okay, moving on to our next tip. This phone has a really cool feature which is called the always on display. And the way it works is when you turn the screen off, it will show a clock on the home screen or on the lock screen. But here's the frustrating part. Right now my screen is dim and it's not showing the clock because I have to tap the screen once to get it to come up, which is frustrating. So we can make one tweak in the settings and we can change that. So let's go to our settings again and we're gonna go to lock screen and then always on display and tap where it says tap to show and change it to show always. Now, if I turn the screen off, it's gonna automatically show the always on display all the time. You won't have to tap the screen to get this to come up. And to me, this is how it should be. Now, some people, the reason Samsung sets it that way out of the box is it probably saves a little bit of battery, but to me, I'd rather be able to see the clock all the time. So that's why I like to make that adjustment. You can also set a schedule and say, you know, I'd love for it to show, but I don't want it to show at night. Or some of you guys might do it vice versa, and you might say, I'd love to see it at night, don't want to see it in the morning. So tap on show as scheduled, and that way you can customize it. All right, moving on to our next tip. We're gonna talk about a few things that are gonna help you really customize this phone and make it unique to you. So the first thing is the Samsung theme store. By holding down on the home screen and tapping on themes, this will take you to the Samsung theme store where you can download themes, wallpapers, icons, and new always on displays for the phone. Now, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time in here because you can be in here all day. There's so many cool themes that are available, but I do wanna show you this little tweak that I found that I personally love, which is how to find the free themes first, see if you like those, and if you don't, then you can always check out the paid themes. So if you tap on top and then all, change it to free, you can browse all of the free themes first and see if there's a free one that you like. Maybe this one's kind of cool right here. If you want to browse it, just simply tap on it. It will show you screenshots and you can swipe through and see what everything looks like. It will change your lock screen, your home screen. It'll change your dialer. It'll change your text messages, and it'll change notification panel. So it's changing everything. So if you like it, you simply tap download and then you can install it. So that's a little trick just to be able to look for the free options first before you look for the paid options. Obviously, they're all mixed in. Now, there is another app you should download to really help you customize and enhance what you can do on this phone, and that is going to be in the Galaxy Store. So tap on Galaxy Store, and we're going to do a search. Upper right corner, tap on the magnifying glass, and we're going to type in Good Lock. If you know about this app, you know this is one of the best apps Samsung has ever developed. If you don't know, you need to know about it. So look, this is the app right here. It's called Good Lock. It's free. It is only available on the mid-tier and the high-end Samsung devices. So that just tells you how good of a phone the A53 is, because it is available. If you were to get one of the lower tier, the A13 or the A03, it's not available on those phones. So this is an app you want to play around with because you can do so much. It allows you to customize just about everything on the phone. I don't even have the time to go into all this app can do, but what I encourage you to do is to play around with it. You'll find all of these sort of mini themes you can download. So there's Theme Park, just to show you a few. There's Wonderland. This allows you to create 3D motion wallpapers. There is Lockstar. It allows you to customize what you see on the lock screen. There is Keys Cafe. It allows you to create a custom keyboard with colors and different styles. There's so much in here. So download this, and basically you'll need to tap on each of these and download them again and just play around with them, and you'll see there's so much awesome stuff you can do within this app to just really customize your phone and really soup it up, I like to say. All right, let's hit our home button. Let's move on to our next tip. So the next one is a feature called Max Power Saving Mode, and this is kind of hidden. You really have to kind of know it's there or you'll miss it. So swipe down from the top of the screen. We're gonna swipe down again and go to Power Saving. But I don't want you to just tap on it. I want you to hold down on it, okay? I'm gonna hold down on Power Saving. It's gonna take you to the Power Saving menu options. So I can just turn it on, the regular power saving mode here, but let's say you find yourself in a situation where you need your battery to last you a very long time. We're not talking about an extra hour or two, we're talking about maybe an extra 6, extra 9 hours. You'll wanna turn on Limit Apps and Home Screen, and I wanna show you what this is gonna look like. So let's tap here, and now let's turn on Power Saving. Now this is the most aggressive power saving mode you can put the phone in, and this will allow your phone to stretch for a lot more hours. Sometimes you'll find yourself in a situation where like you might not be able to charge for, again, over 6 hours, and you need your phone to be on. If you know you're in that situation, you need to turn on the max power saving mode. As you'll notice, the phone looks a lot different. It's going to strip down a lot of the extras, the motions, the animations, the colors, and it limits you to certain apps. But if you hit the plus here, you can see I can still use the camera, I can still use Chrome, I can still use all of my apps, but the goal would be to try to not use so much on the phone to stretch the battery as long as you can. So there we go. Again, you can tap here, I can add maps, I can add my camera, and I can add mail, just in case these are things you need to use. But again, once you go on this mode, try not to use the phone, because if you still use too many apps in this setting, your battery will drain. So the goal is put it in this setting and try not to use the phone unless you really need to. That will help you stretch for a very long time. Now, to get out of this mode, it's super easy. Tap on the 3 dots in the upper right corner and tap turn off power saving. And it takes just a few seconds for it to go back to the normal setting where all the colors are back, all the animation is back, and you can use the phone like normal. Okay, moving into our next, this is our second to last, so we're almost at the end, but I've got 2 more really cool things to show you, so stay with me. Okay, so this next tip, this is a new thing. Now this might have been on previous models, but I have never seen it before. So let's talk about it. So there's a feature where you can store your medical information in the phone so that in the event of an emergency, a paramedic or medical technician can actually learn about maybe a special condition that you have. So let me show you what this looks like. Swipe down from the top of the screen, tap on the settings wheel, swipe up, and we're gonna go to the safety and emergency section. So there's a tab here, it's called medical info. And in this section, it says emergency responders and others can access this info even when your phone is locked. So this is a really cool new feature. Tap on the pencil in the corner. You can put in medical conditions, allergies, current medications you're taking, your blood type. These are all really important things to be able to give to a first responder in the event that you are in some type of medical emergency and you have a condition that the average person wouldn't know about. So that's the first thing. You can program these into the phone. The next thing is you can set up emergency contacts. So you can hit that pencil right there and add people to call in the event of emergency. So I love that. And then you also have the emergency mode. Now with this mode, it's very similar to that ultra or that max power saving mode. So you can turn this on and it's basically going to restrict the phone to only certain apps. But watch this, I want to show you what it looks like once we go all the way through. We're going to hit agree. It's going to put us into that emergency mode. And I want you to think of it like this. You're in an earthquake, you're in a tsunami, you're in a building that has collapsed, something crazy. And the first thing you've got to do is, hey, I need this phone to stay on as long as I can so that I can contact help. So look, you'll be able to make an emergency call. You can turn on your location services so that people can access your location. And again, it's really stripping down what you're able to access, but the goal is that your phone is going to be usable because you don't know how long you're going to be in that emergency situation. You do have access to your flashlight. You also have this emergency alarm, which is awesome. You can make your phone make that loud, high-pitched noise to basically alert people to your position. And I pray I never have to use this, but I love the fact that the phone has this. And guess what? If there's an emergency, I'm turning this on to make sure my battery is going to stretch and make sure I have a way of letting people know where I am. You can also hit that share my location, and that's also going to send out a ping to all your emergency contacts to make sure that they can reach you as well. So again, really cool feature. This might have been on previous Samsung phones, but not laid out in this way. So I love that Samsung has now laid this out in a very clean way to basically allow you to set your phone up for emergency. So my note to you is, don't wait for an emergency to play around with this. Now that you know about this, add your emergency contacts in your phone and add your medical conditions in there, especially if you have something that's really high risk or you could faint or black out. So in that situation, someone could use your phone to be able to find out what's wrong and hopefully help you to get through that. So I spent a lot of time on that, but I felt like that was something really important to explain. Let's move into our very last tip, which is how to optimize your phone to keep it running smooth and quick. This is going to also happen in the settings. A lot of these happen in the settings. Here's what it is. Tap on the settings wheel. We're going to swipe up and we're going to go all the way to battery and device care. Here you'll find there's normally a button here that will say optimize. It's not there right now because the phone is optimized, which is great. But you might find yourself in a situation where the phone is running a bit slow and you're just trying to speed it up or close out any things that are running in the background that might be slowing the phone down. So what you'll need to do, go to the upper right corner, tap on the three dots, and you can tap add to app screen. And it's going to add this to the app screen, which is a device care shortcut. We can hold down on this device care shortcut here, drag it down, and we can actually move it right to our home screen. And so guess what? Now you don't have to go to the settings to do that whole optimization. Just simply tap here, tap on optimize now, and it will run that quick optimization check, checking the battery, checking your apps, and everything running in the background to make sure that anything that is not supposed to be open or that is slowing your phone down will be caught and closed to keep your phone running nice and quick and smooth. Okay, I said that was going to be our last one, but I have a bonus hidden feature that I'm sure a lot of you will want to know about. And this is how to hide apps on the phone. So if you hold down the home screen, go to home screen settings, tap on hide apps. It'll take you to your list of all the apps on the phone. And guess what? Maybe I want to hide my Instagram. And maybe I want to hide my TikTok. I can hit done, go home, and now if I swipe up, you won't find those apps in the app section here. So that's a cool, easy way to hide apps on your phone. And if you want to find those apps later and get them to show again, follow the same process. Hold down the home screen, tap on home screen settings, tap on hide apps, and all we have to do is hit the minus in the corner to unhide these apps. Hit done, go home, and you'll find those apps are back in your app drawer, Instagram, TikTok. So that's how you hide apps on your phone. Hope you guys found this helpful. Again, hit that like button if you found any of these tips helpful, and also take a minute and just leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite tips and hidden features were that I shared. I always love to hear what is new information to you guys and also what your favorite discoveries are in these videos. So thanks again for watching. Take care, and as always, have a good one.